Well, I give a quick update on the Georgia recount and the other recount here. Something came up yesterday after my previous video on this, which might change everything. Now, in the last video, I made the comment, which I think is bearing out like what I said, that if the Sidney Powell argument is correct, or what do you want to call it, that is, there's been massive use of the Dominion voting machine software in the counting or tabulation process to make shifts between Trump and Biden and to produce the result they want. And the Gateway Pundit has a video out on the technique called drop and roll, which you might want to look at as well. And if that was what was done in Georgia, then the hand recount should show this effect in a significant way. Okay, so in other words, if they're going to come out with something like 12,000 now they did discover, thousands of ballots that were not counted originally, but they never were in the tabulation machine, and so they weren't shifted. They simply were not counted. Okay, and the bulk of that, overwhelming bulk of those would be net favorable to Trump, but not enough to change the ultimate outcome. And I think they're probably due largely to human error rather than fraud or any maliciousness, but believe what you want on that. It doesn't much matter here to what I'm saying. If let's say 20 or 30,000 votes were shifted from the Trump tally to the Biden tally in order to get the outcome, the hand recount, warts and all, should have discovered that, and it didn't. Okay. So, but what is the important new development to come up, and it'll be posted right below this video. I put it out yesterday as an affidavit from Lin Wood, the office, I think, that a person involved in the recount process asserts that he saw several boxes of ballots, which apparently had the Biden, overwhelmingly for Biden, and seemed to be filled in and almost as if it was done by machine rather than by a human being. And the paper was very fresh, and it looked different than the paper that the official ballots were on. It didn't look like it had gone through much human handling. And so my conjecture, based on what he's saying, is it looks like it was something that was just printed out on a laser printer, maybe, or something, or some kind of printing machine, automated. And if that's the case, if this guy's telling the truth, and he made this statement under oath now, okay, so it's an affidavit. So if that would be investigated, if Lin Wood gets his motion sustained, and this individual, if you look at that affidavit, has documented the box numbers that these ballots are in. Okay, so he's got a lot of information here. It's not just saying I saw this and it's bad. No, he's actually provided real evidence that could be pursued, and that could completely negate what I said yesterday in the following way. What if there really was vote shifting, and let's say it was done in Fulton County or whatever county it might be? I think this guy was in Fulton. That's my opinion, but based on what he said, but whatever county he's in. The point is, if it was done in a given county and they knew these ballots were not going to come out right in the hand recount, and this was not a thorough inspection of the process, it was just, sort through it, Trump, Biden, Trump, Biden, Biden, Trump, like that, and put them in stacks and count them. Okay. So what they might have done is, realizing they had a problem, they might have just gone in there and create a bunch of Biden ballots to make up for the machine counts, and then destroyed a certain number of other ballots in order to produce something like what they want. I don't know if that's possible or not. Or it's also possible that this was in the original count, and it wasn't done by machine at all. It was, by which I'm saying it wasn't the Dominion machines that did the fraud. It was just literally a bunch of bad ballots were thrown into the mix somehow in the original voting. So I'm not sure exactly which way this would go, and of course we could always say, is this person on the level, although he's putting himself at legal jeopardy by making this statement. And something of this magnitude might just get into the legal system. So at any rate, we can hope that Lin Wood gets his motion acted upon, and those boxes are checked out to see if what's being claimed here is right, because this could be big. Either way it goes, whether it favors the tabulation machine theory or whether it's simply a bunch of fraudulent ballots that were thrown into the count somehow. So I'll kind of leave that at that. And on that subject, on the Wisconsin count is now, I guess, going to start tomorrow. And that also is very interesting, and that may be where this machine issue, the Dominion machine, could come into play with the 143,000 Biden votes that popped up in one single entry, essentially. And that is kind of very suspicious. I looked at the bar on the chart that was posted, I think, by the president, actually. And it looks to me like it was there actually were Trump votes in that thing, and it was like looks like roughly 85% Biden and 15% Trump, and I think it's from Milwaukee. So I think that's something to look forward to also, to see if, in fact, that sort of tabulation thing is going, error was done, or whether, deliberately manipulated or not. I have a certain attitude here, which I think it looks to me like Powell is making too bold of a claim. That is, it literally was millions of votes that were shifted, because I think that might be detected. And if that's the case, then we're dealing with something more even than a Biden fraud. We're dealing with, a true deep state conspiracy, which has who knows what objective. Because if they were doing millions of ballots, then why didn't they also give the Democrats the Senate and give the Democrats the House seats that they wanted? So that gets into a whole lot of other implications, which I don't need to get into here and bother anybody with. But I think I recommend to you to look at that affidavit that is posted right below where this video will be posted. I haven't echoed anything else because until I get verified by the Parler, I can't actually post a link of any sort, even the affidavit. So I thought it was more important to preserve my ability to have a place where people could go to see my videos in a systematic way than it was to put out anything else other than that affidavit. So at any rate, I'll close this for now. If you like these videos, again, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I appreciate that. Or, retweet, you can echo this post and on Parler, or, send links to somebody, and I'll close for now.